All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, time of this truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom, and Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Now, this lesson is going into, you can dilute the skin, but you cannot dilute the spirit, man. All right, we understand that this is a spiritual thing, man. All right, the spirits, all right, of the children of Israel, the sons of God, man. All right, in these vessels that we call bodies, this flesh. Okay, now this is the video. Now, this is a man's father. All right, now let me just play it real quick. All right, boom. So Khan, man, you see the man, you see the father, and then you see his son. And as you can see, the skin gets lighter and lighter till eventually what? This man, the child, okay, the offspring is gonna look like pale, okay? Which you understand that who Esau Edom is, the so-called white man. All right, which ruled as the ancient Romans, which ruled as the ancient Greeks, and today rule over this revived Roman Empire, which is America, NATO, and the EU. All right, but see, in these last days, you're gonna have Israelites that's gonna look like the nations under heaven, man. You're gonna have Israelites that's gonna look like the Chinese men. You're gonna have Israelites that's gonna look like the Arab men. You're gonna have Israelites that's gonna look like the so-called white men. Although, generally, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians are the children of Israel. But as the scriptures go into, our people have been scattered across the world, man. And the men of our nation have slept with the women of the other nations. All right. And as that continue on, all right, as the title goes into, they can dilute the flesh, the skin, but they cannot dilute the spirit. Okay, the spirit inside that little boy is still an Israelite, man. And there's many examples of this. How you see a so-called black man, a so-called Israelite man, have a Edomite wife. Then the child comes out light, and then he gets an Edomite wife, and then the child comes out even lighter. Then he may get an Edomite wife, and then the child comes out even lighter to the point where the child looks like an Edomite. But guess what? His fathers are Israelites, man. Therefore, he is an Israelite. We understand that this thing is not of the appearance, all right? The flesh, man. This is a spiritual thing, man, all right? We are who our fathers are, okay? Whoever your father is, that's who you are. And this is why also in these last days, you're going to have Edomites that's going to look like Israelites, man. You're going to have Edomites that's going to have dark skin, okay? And the scriptures go into that with the parable of the wheat and tares, man. So let me go into the comments real quick. And you see the comments. Gone in just 2 generations. That's crazy. But see, the thing is, they're not diluting the spirit, man. The spirit in them are still Israelites. Even though they may have the appearance of other nations, or they may have paler skin, these are still Israelites, man. All right. All right, these are still Israelites. Okay. So let's get into these precepts. All right. This is another thing where people may stumble at, This is another thing, a part of the doctrine that people may stumble at, because our people are scattered throughout the world, and the men of our nation have slept with the women of the heathen nations. But guess what? The children that these women bring forth are still Israelites. Whoever your father is, that's who you are. All right. This is why when you read in the scriptures, nations, you'll never find a nation that's called by a woman, man. All the nations are called by men. Israel goes back to who? Israel, Jacob, man. All right. The Ishmaelites goes back to who? Ishmael, man. All right. The Edomites go back to Edom. The Moabites go back to Moab. The Ammonites go back to Ammon. Okay. All right. The Hamites go back to Ham. They all go back to men because it's the seed of man. All right. Whoever your father is, that's who you are. Your mother really doesn't matter. If your father is an Israelite and your mother is a heathen, you're still an Israelite, man. Okay. But so let's go into this. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13, verse Verse 24, it says, another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. And the good seed represent the children of Israel. Okay, that's the good seed, man. The children of the kingdom, the people of the Lord, the sons of God. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, man. It says, but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. And when it's going into while men slept, that's going into slavery, man. All right, when we were in the darkness of the darkness, man, you know, we were sleep, okay, through. All right. But it says what? His enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat. Right. Because you'll have these Edomites that'll come and pop all women and go their way, you know, or basically you just had these Edomites popping all women, man. All right. These Edomites, you know, sleeping with these Israelite women. All right. Amongst all the tribes, actually, you know, Esau was sleeping with the women of all the tribes. You know, it says, but when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. You see? So once when these women will bear these children, right? Because you got to understand, you had this Edomite man sleep with an Israelite woman. The child comes, he looks mixed, you know. He has a little melanin, and then let's say he go on and sleeps with a woman that looks like his mother. He goes and sleeps with another Israelite woman. Then the child, when you continue on, that child eventually is going to have melanin, man. Hair gets super curly, or you know, basically Edomites that look like Israelites, man. And that's why in these last days you're gonna have heathen that are gonna look like Israel. But see, this is why when the Lord returns, see, this is a spiritual thing. Is it the spirit? And the Lord is gonna be able to tell who is a son of God and who's a heathen, man, the sons of men. All right. Okay. But man, it says, so the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, an enemy had done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together unto the harvest, and in the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn, man. Which the wheat, they're going into Israel. The tares are going into the sons, the children of the wicked, you know. So let's search up wheat and tares. All right, image of wheat and tares, man. All right, wheat and tares. Okay, they look very similar. It's hard to tell them apart. It's hard to decipher between them. Okay, by appearance. All right, this is what's likened unto Israelites, and then you have these heathens that look like Israelites, man. All right, and also vice versa. You're gonna have Israelites that's gonna look like heathen. Okay, because our people have been scattered throughout the world, and the men of our nation have slept with the women of the other nations, the daughters of men. Okay. All right, and this is not something that's new. This is why when you read during the time of the flood, how the sons of God saw that the daughters of women were fair, you know, you had those Israelite men back then, those spirits of Israelites men back then sleeping with the women of the heathen nations, man, of the other nations, man, you know. All right, but man, all right, so you'll find these men that look like, you know, so-called that basically they look like Esau. But when you go down their father, the line of their father, they go back to Israel. Okay? And this is why you have these certain Edomites, the spirit in them, they associate themselves with Jake. The way they speak, the way they move, you know, they associate themselves with Jake, man, because it's the spirit, it's a spiritual thing, man. It's not a fleshly thing, you know. But so let's go back. So so let's drop down real quick. Going to it. It says, verse 36, then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. He answered and said unto them, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, and you see all people are scattered throughout the world, man. Okay? The good seed are the children of the kingdom, the Israelites, the people of the Lord. But the tares are the children of the wicked one, man. All right? Because once again, you're going to have Edomites. You're going to have chocolate-covered Edomites, man. You're going to have Edomites that's going to have melanin, all right? That's going to have curly hair. That's going to look like Jake. But when you go down the line of their Esau, okay? But see, it's from a fleshly appearance, from just looking at the two, you won't be able to tell them apart. But this is why it's a spiritual thing, man. It's a spiritual thing. It says, he answered and said unto them, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sold them is the devil, Esau. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world, man. You see? Because the Lord is able to discern between the wheat and the tares, man. All right? Yahushua knows who's his people and who's not. All right? This isn't a fleshly thing. This is a spiritual thing, man. You're going to have, this is why you see, all right, amongst brothers, you'll have brothers that may have the appearance of heathen, you know, Esau or you know, but these are Israelites, man. All right? And the scriptures speak about, Romans chapter 8, verse 16, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High, man. You see, this is a spiritual thing. Okay, this is not a fleshly thing. So going back to this, all right, this little boy, all right, these are Israelites, man. And now imagine when this child goes up, all right, and sees his grandmother and his great-grandmother, you know, and he decides to get with an Edomite woman. Now, you know, all right, but guess what? When that fruit that's brought forth, these are still Israelites. These are still the sons of God, man. All right, okay, the good seed, okay. But man, all right, and you'll have vice versa, man. You're gonna have Edomites that's gonna look like Israel, those tares. You know, but this is Numbers chapter 1, verse 18. It says, and they assemble all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declare their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward, by their polls, man. Because your identity, your nationality, who you come from, is of your father, man. It's not of your mother. All right, what your father is, that's who you are. The seed, all right, man. Okay, who your father is, that's who you are, man. What your father is, that's what you are, man. Okay, all the nations in the Bible are named after who? Men. All right, this is how it works, man. All right, your mother really doesn't matter. Your father has the seed. Your mother is just the ground. All right. It doesn't matter where you plant a seed, you know, in whatever type of soil, whatever type of ground, whatever that type of seed is, that's the fruit that's going to be brought forth. All right. And that's and con, man. All right. An Israelite man can sleep with the woman of any nation. And that child that woman will bring forth will be an Israelite, man. OK, so that's really the point. And no matter what the appearance is. OK, but con, man, you know. So, you know, that's really the point. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to close it out. Give infinite praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, time of this truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.